Let's talk some Woodbine Saturday racing. Let's take a look at July the 29th, the past performances using the daily racing form. Now, Woodbine has had some very, very warm weather, and they have canceled racing on Thursday and on Friday because of a heat wave. So just keep that in mind when you're handicapping the races. I don't exactly know what Saturday and Sunday will propose, but the last few days have been really hot. It's been that way all around North America. Honestly, a lot of tracks in the US have been canceling too. So major heat waves all over the place. And because it's summer, DRF is also offering you 10% off any purchase in the DRF store right now through Sunday, July the 30th. Use that coupon code July10 off, 10% off through July 30th. Past performances, clocker reports, betting strategies, the digital paper, all of the resources that you use right now through the summer meets, through the racing at Woodbine, through the racing at Del Mar, at Saratoga, wherever you're playing, you know you're going to be using the past performances. You know you're going to be getting help from DRF. So take advantage right now. Head on over to drf.com and purchase anything in the DRF store, 10% off. But you got to use that promo code July 10 off. Hey, let's talk about the early pick five at Woodbine on Saturday. Remember, at Woodbine, Saturday and Sunday, early pick fives, $100,000 guaranteed in the early pick five pool, and you can play for just a 20-cent based wager. Let's dive in to the second race. I'm hoping the one gets aggressive. Yorkshire in here. There's not very much early speed in this race. She's going to be stretching out from 2 sprints, and with the inside draw, I'd love to see them get aggressive in here. I think the 5's the horse to beat. Milagre de Sol. You can watch her replay last time out. So she's the 2 in this race. She was also in the race with Black Diamond Denny and Anita Margarita. They're both in here. I thought Milagre del Sol ran a lot better. So she's the 2 in the race we're going to watch right here. This was going a mile and a 16th on the turf. This was her first turf start. And this was in her second career start. Now she's got that yellow cap. You can see that sort of neonish cap down towards the inside. So she had a fine start, and then she takes back a little bit and settles, 3 or 4 lengths off. And she's in like the 6th or 7th spot, but she's not that far out of it. Just a good amount of horses in front of her. In her debut, the race before this, she was in a race where the top 2 finishers both came back to win their next start. The winner, Solo Album, came back to win the Grade 3 Celine next out with a 92 Beyer speed figure. And I thought she ran really well in this race, Milagre del Sol. She'll just kind of sitting there inside. You can see she's traveling well, but already there's nowhere for her to go. She's already got to tap on the brakes because she doesn't have room in front of her with the 9, who sort of was in her spot. And now the 9's trying to shift off the rail. So as horses in front of her are trying to secure their position, she just has to wait. She's just at the mercy of what everyone in front of her is doing. You can tell she's traveling very well, the 2. She wants to go up the inside. Again, just not a whole lot of room because the 3, Anita Margarita, is in front of her. She can't really get around. Wants to go again, just patiently waiting, looking for a seam. Kimura's got her settled nicely, and now he's going to try to stick inside, but he really doesn't have very many opportunities, very many options, right? He's just waiting there. There's nowhere to go, a wall of horses. So he moves all the way to the outside. He has to shift all the way out here because he tried to stay inside and it just wasn't working. Gave up all this ground, shifts out in the 4 path and is gaining on them. I thought an extremely impressive performance from Milagre del Sol. I just prefer this one quite a bit more than the horse who beat him, Black Diamond Denny, who slightly finished in front of Milagre del Sol. Like, I didn't think Black Diamond Denny was ever winning this race. Milagre del Sol would have won with a smoother trip. The Archangel, bred, to be a little bit better. This horse is have to all have another. Your Derby Preakness winner. Golden Award. It's a decent little pedigree here, and you expect there to be more turf in it with the Archangel. I'm going to go 5-1, using the 5-1 everywhere. I think the 5's the horse to beat. Maybe the 1 can get loose. And then in the next tier, I would use 3, 4, and 6. Maybe Anita Margarita can sit a nice trip. 3 and the 4, neither would shock me. I just like the 5 a little bit more. Let's move along to race number 3. Mile and a 16th on the turf. We've got optional 40 non-winners of 2. I like the 2 Royal Blush in here. I thought that July 8th race going 7 on the turf was very good. I think overall, you look at a lot of her turf races, they fit. They make sense. She was in a bad spot on May the 27th. I think she just got involved a little too early. She was too close up going 6.5. That's not really the trip she wants. She wants to take a little bit more back and make one run. And, her races at Gulfstream Park in February when she broke her maiden on the turf was good. The races at Indy were both pretty good. Overall, I think she has nice turf form. She lost to Spenderella last year. When she was obviously in too tough in a race behind Spenderella. I like Royal Blush in this spot. She's going to be in the mix and all pick 5s for me. The 3, Foxy Diva, actually went right by Royal Blush last time out. I did think Royal Blush might have ran a little bit better overall in that race. The 5 could be the horse to catch in here. Diasa Katrina. She stretches out, and she's, on paper, I think the quickest. Right next door, Bakia. She's super honest. She'll probably sit just off the pace. I don't think she's as fast as the horse right to her inside, so she'll probably be, having to track. And then the 1, so Blueberry Fields is 2-1 on the morning line, and she comes off of a big synthetic win. Her only turf race was in a tough spot, and it wasn't quite as good. I mean, she's improving now, obviously, but I would go 2 and 3. Then I would have the 1 as the next horse. Then I would use sort of the wild card pace players in the 5 and the 6. So I'm for sure using 2 and 3. The 1's going to be likely in the mix. And then 5, 6, I thought were the wild cards because they should be forwardly placed in here. The 5, maybe the 1 to catch. The 6 could sit a really nice trip. Moving along to race number 4. This one's the first level allowance race on the inner turf course. I really like the 2 in here. Amazing Queen. She was in too tough last time. And she gets back to the optional 32 first level allowance level. So May 27th at this level, let's watch her race. And honestly, even on June the 17th in her most recent race, she actually was making a big bid down the center of the track, but she was in like the 8 or 9 path, and then she just flattened out late. But she got way up into contention before flattening. I think it was just a wide trip, a tough trip, and against better horses. Look at this race at this same level. She's the 1 in here. So this was on May the 27th. She's last. She's about 10 lengths off. But she's traveling well. Almost always, you can tell. She's down on the inside. You see her just not quite as fast as some of these early. And she's going to make a big, wide, late rally for second. So this is the race that I wanted to watch because it's at the same level. It makes the most sense to me. You also see her winning at this level last year in July. Almost a year ago, July the 23rd, she wins at this level at 9-2 with a 77 buyer. Her best races on the grass, I think, are the best in here. Like, I think if she showed up with the top effort, she wins this race. So watch, she's the 1 now. She's going to have to try to get off the rail and come flying. And we see her sort of waiting patiently. The 3 in front of her kind of has to back up, grab a hold. And now she's going to shift to the outside. Watch how far wide she moves off the rail. She gets out into like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's like the 6, 7 path out there. And she comes flying down the middle of the racetrack. And the only horse she loses to is the 4-5 favorite who got the jump on her. A horse who, again, she faced on June the 17th when they stepped up. So we just know that this horse is better than her. Now she drops back in. Third start of the form cycle. She just needs some pace to run out, right? She's a deep closer, so she needs some pace. The 1 Mitzi will be going early, and that's what the race will come down to. Can the 6 push Mitzi a little bit? Can the 7 maybe be forwardly placed as well? Because the 2 does need some pace to run at. I'm going to throw in the 1 Mitzi just in case she can get brave on another ticket. We'll include some others like the 3, Kitten's Romance. She's a major player. She just doesn't win a lot. The 7, Lady Maeve. She kind of loomed up like she was going to go right by, and she's a little flat in her last start, I thought. Then you have Gaylette, who just doesn't like to win, but she's really honest. She's been in the money in 6 of her 7 starts on the turf, but she's never won. She always shows up with a good effort. And even the 5, Boudica, that October 8th race, can she get back to that? That would put her right in the mix when she broke her maiden here, going to mile and 16th. So I'm going to use the 2. I'm going to play 1 ticket where I single this horse, actually. And then following that, another ticket where I have 2, 1, 3, probably all over. If you wanted to go deeper, 7, 4, 5 would be the next tier. I usually kind of stack horses and rank them because that way if I play exactas, if I play tries, I'll sort of know who I'm going to use and who I'm going to exclude if I go a little deeper. As we go deeper into the pick 5 sequence, let's go to race number 5. I'm going to look at the number 5 in here, Call for Leucades. So the dam of this one won one of her 4 races. The siblings, there are a couple of them that have won. So 2 winning siblings and a winning dam. Check that box. Check that box. I see a tab that's pretty steady right here at Woodbine. Local works from mid-July. Doesn't seem like anything's been missing. So we've got a steady work tab. We've got solid on the dam side pedigree. We've got a couple direct siblings that have won. Let's go to the trainer, see how they do with first-time starters. So that's what's nice about these DRF formulator past performances. All you do is just click first-time starters. You can make the statistics for anything you want. 2 for 18. So capable, right? That's numbers that are probably pretty common for most barns, like 10, 11% or so with first-time starters. We saw them win with one at the end of 2022. Quiet Madalena. Also one with a horse named Chroma. So 2 for really the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 for the last 8. Those numbers will look even a little bit better. I think the 5's a player. The 8 Vandu to me looks like the horse to beat. Her dam won the debut. So shows some precocity right here at Woodbine on the synthetic. She's a half sibling to a horse named Not So Quiet. Not So Quiet is a 9-time winner, a multiple stakes winner, and won the debut, and is graded stakes placed. Precocity, class, ability, proven over the synthetic. Lots of things to look for when you're looking at the pedigree. If you wanted to go a little bit deeper, I thought the 7 would be the next one to use. First-time starter has 2 siblings that both were winners. One of them won the debut. Mo Touring showed a little precocity. Mo Tourist, we've seen, and actually is a horse whose graded stakes place was in the gray. Red Sneakers has the experience, so that could go a long way in a race like this where nobody else has a race. 5, 8 for me, and then 7, 1 if you were going to go a little bit deeper. Let's finish out the pick 5 with race number 6. I'm looking at Emerence here, who is the 5. Let's watch this race for Emerence. She debuted on the turf. She's a 2-year-old filly making a second start, and she's going to try the synthetic now. So this turf race, she was the 1. She drew the rail. Olivia Rose was the 8. They're both in this race. Olivia Rose is and also eligible, so she'll need to draw in. Let's look at the 1 Emerence. We can also look at, Olivia Rose, who was in here, but there was also that girl Artemis. Artemis was in here as well. So the horses that we're looking for from this race, 1, 8, and 2, watch what happens to the 1 and the 2 down towards the inside. So you can see they both had fine starts, but you're in that tight spot when you're in a big field. And now both the 1 and the 2, they're looking for the same spot. They're trying to get into the same position. And what's going to happen? Something's got to give. Well, the 2 takes up badly. That's that girl Artemis. Watch the 2 and look at the 1. Boom, together. They both get shuffled back really badly. They lose like 3 or 4 lengths of positioning. It's still happening to the 2. That girl Artemis. She's still getting shuffled back right now. And Emirates kind of gets a little more comfortable now, but both of these courses wanted to be a lot more forward. Now watch the 1 come down to the rail and come on again. I thought a pretty good effort from Emirates to finish 4th. And the horse who finished 3rd in this race was named Ready to Jam. And Ready to Jam came back to win a maiden special weight next time out. Here's the 1 in between horses trying to dive down to the inside. So not in between, it was inside right behind the 7 and is going to get up for 4th. I thought that was a good effort. And I think we give the 2, that girl Artemis, who is the 2 in this race, just put a line right through it. So now Emirates, major player for me, 2nd start. And now what about that girl Artemis? In her debut, she runs on the synthetic going 5. She runs 3rd. And then she was 4-1, 5-1, 9-2 on July 1st. And we saw what happened. She just got completely backed right up into. She never had a chance. If we just put a line right through that race, why wouldn't we play her off the June 3rd race? I think she fits. I'm using the 10 in all pick 5s. The 7 Wet Painter looks like the horse to War Pointer looks like the horse to beat. The Dam won her first 2 starts, so she showed precocity. She's had 2 siblings to race. One of them was a winner, also won the debut. This is a barn who's very, very good with first-time starters as well. 5, 10, 7, all over the place for me in race number 6 to close out that pick 5. On Saturday at Woodbine, let's head to the 8th race. It's the Grade 2 Seagram Cup. Unfortunately, I don't have anything really creative to tell you in here. I'm a big fan of Tyson, who I saw on the Dominion Day race, and I was backing him that day when he beat his stablemate Treason. Look at this horse's career. He debuted at Gulfstream. He won his debut, and then he was off for 14 months. He showed back up earlier this year as a 4-year-old. He wins in a first level allowance. He beats Stanley House, who was a player for the King's Plate. Not sure what's going to happen with Stanley House now. He didn't really run all that well last week. But then Tyson steps up into Graded Stakes Company. He loses to his stablemate Treason. And in the Eclipse, it was actually the first time where Tyson didn't get the lead. He was a little green in that race. In the Dominion Day, he was awesome. And he's just improving and he's growing up and he shows that he can get the lead. He can sit, he can close, he can pass horses. Tyson is really, really nice right now. Unfortunately, I can't find a way to beat him. I think the only way you could would be with the wild card King Max. I just don't think King Max is really offering enough value to take a swing against Tyson. So a very, very nice horse in Tyson, but not necessarily a race where I'm going to be able to bet a whole lot because I can't get a feel for how he gets beat here. That's a look at Saturday at Woodbine. Don't forget about the big sale happening right now with DRF. 10% off any purchase in the DRF store now through Sunday, July the 30th. Use that coupon code. If you need any help with other races for this weekend, I took a look at Del Mar. I put a video out with some best bets for Del Mar. Put a video out with some best bets for Saratoga. We have a video out with best bets for Louisiana and now for Woodbine. Everything you need for all the big races this weekend. And we actually covered all of those on the podcast. That's What G Said podcast as well. Good luck.